Welcome back to Fundamentals of Physical Geography. We're in section 11.2, so we're getting really close to the end of the module now. If you've been keeping up to speed with the module handbook and following our trajectory through the course, you'll have seen the way it's worked out, that you've covered first of all the fundamentals, the basics, the building blocks, the starting points of physical geography. Then we've seen those kind of interconnecting together in the form of systems and connections and frameworks. And then we've seen how environmental change is impacted on that basic understanding that we developed at the beginning of the module. Now, in the final section of the module, we've been putting together some case studies where we've simply tried to explore the ways in which the different separate things that you've encountered as we've worked through the module are of course all connected together. Now, we have tried to make that point throughout the module. We haven't said, here's a separate thing, here's another separate thing, here's another separate thing. We've said, here's a whole load of stuff, and it's all connected in an intricate, complex, fascinating way. But let's look at this bit, let's look at this bit, let's look at the connections, now let's look at this bit. And we've worked our way through a whole load of material doing that. And now we're coming towards the end. We've just got 1 week left, or one step left in the module. And what we've been doing in these last couple of sessions is just saying, well, here's a bunch of things that we've encountered during the course of the module. Just pay attention now to how those are intricately connected together as a set of things. So we've talked about sea level and we've talked about geomorphology. We'll look at the impact of sea level on coastal environments, and that was one of the case studies we've looked at. We've talked about environmental change, climate change, and we've talked about plate tectonics, and we've talked about landscape separately. Well, again, those are things which are very intricately connected together. Plate tectonics has an impact on climate change has an impact on landscape. The way that landscape operates is determined obviously by plate tectonics, but also has a feedback effect. You get the idea. Everything is connected in interesting, complicated ways. So all we're doing in this very final step is just giving you a couple of examples to illustrate those kinds of connections that you should be able to find for yourselves. Now, it's important for you to realise that we aren't giving you the particular case studies we're giving you because those are the ones that you need to know about. We're giving them to you because they're convenient examples of how these kinds of case studies could work. But what will be really useful to you is for you to go back and look through the course material, choose topics that you're interested in, and find these connections for yourselves, not just in the topics that we've pointed out are connected, but in all the other parts of the module. Because pretty much anything in the module you could pull out and then pull out something else from somewhere else in the module, and you will be able to find connections between them. Some are more or less important than others, but that's a really good way to draw together your understanding of the fundamentals of physical geography as you get towards the end of this module. And as you're putting together your final patchwork components, the patches for these final sections, I mean, certainly for this section 11, for step 11, a really good idea for a patch would be to try drawing together things from all around the module, because that's the key theme really of step 11 now, is that connection that you can make between different parts of the module.